12.2 Declaration of pointer variable. I have already explained to you a variable, an ordinary variable is meant for storing an ordinary value of a particular type. That means integer type variable stores integer value, floating point type variable store floating point value, character type variable stores char value. That already many programs we have written. And as far as pointer variable is concerned, it is somewhat different. A special purpose in order to improve the efficiency of C program, the pointer notations are created. A pointer variable is meant for storing address only. It cannot store ordinary value. So, with an example, I can explain it to you. Now, you declared int v10. Then you know that I need not give a big explanation for this. Variable name is v, and obviously it is having an address, and this is a 10. This you know. It is an integer type variable. Its name is v. Its address is 651. Its value is 10. Its type is int. Its size is 2. This is an ordinary variable. Now, let us declare a pointer variable. Pointer variables declarations you have to specially notice. Int star PV. This is pointer variable. Pointer variable, this is the difference. Ordinary variable int. Pointer variable int star. That means what you can call it integer type pointer. This integer type pointer variable name is PV. As a matter of convention, actually pointer variables are different from ordinary variables that I explained. Ordinary variables are meant for storing a value of a particular type, and pointer variables are meant for storing the address of other element. Other element may be variable also, and that is the thing. So the difference is this. Here 2 points you have to notify. Here we have written only int. Here int star. Int star if you write, then it is a integer type pointer. This is ordinary integer type. Integer pointer type. Integer type pointer. That you understand. Its name is PV. Here also one more point you have to. For the sake of identification, as a matter of convention, pointer variables name start with P. P or PTR. P or PTR. Then P or PTR tells that it is a pointer variable. Now, in this book, I am using P. Or if you want a PTR also, you can use. PTR is a little lengthy. That's why we are using P. Now, it is a pointer variable of integer type. Integer type pointer variable PV. Now, what happened? This is also a variable. Variable. On this declaration, what happens? One variable is created. And what is its type? Integer type pointer. And obviously, it is having an address. An address. As a result of this is created. Understand? Now, one more thing you must remember in this context. This is ordinary variable. This is pointer variable. There is, at this stage, there is no relation. There is no relation between V and PV. This is a ordinary variable somewhere in the memory location, and this is a pointer variable somewhere in other memory location. Okay, that's all. Now, let us create a relation. What is the purpose of PV? Purpose of PV is storing the address of another variable of integer type. Now, PV, what it can store? It can store the address of V. Now you see, this assignment, what happens? The address of P we are storing in, we have assigned to PV. That means the address of V is stored in PV. Now what is the value of this thing? 651. Now this one we are storing. This is the pointer variable initialization. So declaration of ordinary variable, declaration of pointer variable, and initialization of pointer variable. Until unless we initialize a pointer variable, we should not use it. That point always remember. And here one more point, in more authors use write this notation int PV. Then it creates some confusion. Actually, conceptually, if you have to understand, if you suffix star symbol to int, it is more readable. Now, what is this type? Int. What is the V's type? Int. What is the PV's type? Integer type pointer. Like that, we can find the distinction. That's why in this book, I have written this notation. And one thing you must remember, three alternative notations are equally valid. This is valid. This is also valid. Most others follow this notation. And this also is a valid notation in between. This is suffix to data type. This is prefix to variable. This is in between. But this notation is quite meaningful. Syntactically, all three are allowed. But this notation is more meaningful. PV's type integer type pointer. V's type integer. Then we are initializing. Because of initialization, the address of ordinary variable is stored in pointer variable. Pointer variable, then a relation is created. Now, in further program, whenever you want to perform any pointer oriented operations, this is compulsory. Until unless initialization of pointer variable, we should not perform any operations on pointer variable. That point you remember. These are in 3 lines. Declaring ordinary variable, declaring pointer variable of the same type, and initializing pointer variable. Actually, these 3 lines, for the sake of clarity of the concept, I have written in 3 lines. And some others, they write in 2 lines. Some others, they write in 1 line also. That also I show you. Don't confuse. In throughout the book, almost in all programs, I have written 3 lines. For the sake of clarity is more important. So, you should not blindly remember. You should know the concept. Now, how can we write in 2 lines? Now, int V star PV. Now, in this case, we should attach to, we should prefix star symbol to PV. There is no other go. If you prefix here, then V also become a pointer variable. That is not true. Now, PV is equal to and V. This is one way, but I don't like it because conceptually little confusion is there. Syntactically it is okay. So, we are declaring ordinary variable and pointer variable in the same line. And next we are initializing pointer variable. This is second alternative. Third alternative, all 3 can be declared in 1 line. This is V star PV is equal to and V. This is also, many others write like this. But only thing is, here clarity is more important. And once you understand concept thoroughly, then if you write like this or like this, there is no problem at all. But initially, if you learn like this, actually subsequently use pointers with reference to many other elements. Pointers versus functions, pointers versus arrays, pointer versus strings, pointer versus functions. Like that, many elements use. Then this is like 1, 2, 3 checklist. Then whenever you are using pointers, the 3 steps you have to check it up. So that's why I have given in three lines. Don't confuse. Somewhere if you find in 1 line or 2 lines, Don't confuse at all. And only thing is, these are different from other notations. That's why you should be very careful. And number two is, as far as pointer notations are concerned, without having command, you should not use, because these are low level notations. As I explained to you earlier, the low level notation, whatever you implement, it goes to low level directly. Compiler's role is minimum here. Compiler role is there, not zero, but is a minimum. So pointer notations, if you wrongly use, it may lead to fatal errors. That's why beware of that. And with reference to this explanation, you see this program, you refer this program, and 12.2, 8th line, int star pv. Pv is integer type pointer, and pv is and v. Pv is and v, that is initialization of pointer variable. That means the address of v we are assigning to pv. Then the three steps, whatever I have explained here, with reference to this figure, you understand for everything as far as pointer notations are concerned, you draw a figure, and with reference to that you understand. Then you can easily remember, no abstraction at all. Now, now we have created a pointer variable, and one more thing I am telling you, here I initialize. Initialization is not compulsory for creating pointer variable, and without initialization also you can create. And here let us consider the bidata of two variables. Now ordinary variable, the name is v and value is 10, address is 65,524, and the size is 2. Because of the int, its size is 2. And let us consider the biodata of pointer variable. Name pv, value 65,524. Now we initialize the address of v. That's why pv's value is 65,524. The address of pointer variable 65,522. Here already explained to you that pv, pointer variable, also like any other variable. That's why it occupies memory, and obviously it is having an address. So in this case, its address is 65,522. Size is 2. Size is 2. Here integer type size is 2, and pointer variables type is also 2. And on this, one more point I will explain after two programs. And initially you crystallize your knowledge on this. In this manner, we have to first, in order to perform any pointer oriented operations, we have to perform the three steps, that is initialization of pointer. This is called initialization of pointer. Until unless you initialize a pointer variable, you should not make any pointer type variable already. And every time you remember the three steps, whenever you are using pointers, just make a checklist. 1, 2, 3. Declaring ordinary variable, declaring pointer variable of that same type, and initializing pointer variable. Suppose tomorrow you have to deal with array, then declaring array, declaring pointer of that type, and initialization of pointer. You have to deal with a function, declaring a function or defining a function, and declaring a pointer variable of that type, and initializing pointer variable. In this way, these three steps you remember and implement always whenever you are using pointer variables.